The owners of a popular Italian restaurant in South Park are receiving an outpouring of support after ICE agents raided one of their restaurants. NBC7 was there as protesters surrounded ICE patrol vehicles and agents outside Buona Forchetta on Beach Street. NBC7's Enoteca shows us how the community is rallying around the business.
It's just great how everybody wants to rally for the illegals, right? But let's see exactly who's rallying for who and who really cares. Here we go. Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm putting together is something that has gone under the radar, not so much of the mainstream media because it's not surprising at this point, but it seems by choice it's going under the radar of all these leftists out there who claim so much that they care, okay, about their communities, about people being impacted for whatever policies they think don't benefit them, and how something that I'm going to show you guys has gone under the radar for a couple of weeks now, okay, or again, like I said, doesn't want to be talked about by, I don't know, organizations like Black Lives Matter, okay, the left, leftist politicians like AOC, and again, Ilhan Omar, and all these people who say that there is white systemic racism going on in America, and that black people and illegals and trans and all this are all being marginalized by this big bad boogeyman on the right. But yet, when something happens to one of their own, by one of their own, they basically they won't touch it. And it just shows the basic, you know, not even the it's basic at this point, but just a blatant hypocrisy that these people can have. And the way, okay, so many people in the past week or so that they're over here trying to have a memorial, okay, for a certain person who was a criminal, okay, well, basically George Floyd, but yet, once again, one of their own gets their life taken from them, and it's crickets from the left and all these organizations, but yet they still are upset that illegal migrants are being taken out of the country, and to them that's a problem. Okay, now I'm going to play this video again and point out a few things before I get to the heart of this video. So bear with me, it's not going to be a long one. But before also I do, just want to thank all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and pass the channel around. With that being said, let's get back into this video real quick. I'm going to point out a few things, and then we'll get to the heart of what I'm talking about. Here we go.
The owners of a popular Italian restaurant in South Park are receiving an outpouring of support after ICE agents raided one of their restaurants. NBC7 was there as protesters surrounded ICE patrol vehicles and agents outside Buona Forchetta on Beach Street. NBC7's Enoteca shows us how the community is rallying around the business.
Backlash from some San Diegans over an ICE worksite enforcement operation at Buona Forchetta and Enoteca on Beach Street. This man, who asked to be identified as John Brown, was in the middle of it all.
The entire community was disgusted, infuriated, and enraged. They don't want people in military tactical gear playing soldier and playing like they're in Afghanistan coming in here and just screwing with people on a nice Friday afternoon where people just want to go out and get lunch at like these nice restaurants and, you know, just have a good time.
NBC7 was there as protesters surrounded ICE patrol vehicles and confronted the armed agents just after 4 o'clock Friday. The audio in this video was lowered because its language is not fit for our broadcast. Buona Forchetta never opened for dinner as a result of that surprise raid. The manager says at least 2 workers were detained. Today, the wife of one of those detained employees told NBC7 her husband called her to let her know what was going on. She asked to conceal her identity for safety reasons.
La verdad se me bloqueó la mente en ese momento.
I was shocked. The first thing that came to mind was our son, because my husband is the breadwinner in our family. Today, Buona Forchetta shared a statement on their Instagram page about what they're calling a traumatic event that's devastating and heartbreaking. It states they're working closely with their attorneys to locate and support their detained employees and their families, adding, Buona Forchetta has always been at its core a family. We have built our spaces on trust, dignity, and care for one another. We stand together now and always. We are still processing the deep pain and confusion caused by this situation.
It's a little somber, to be honest.
Today, some...
Okay, I'll leave it at that. So you heard what the restaurant had to say. We're a family. We're trying to deal with this. This is all painful. Yada yada yada. You've seen the other moron that wants to be identified as whatever the hell name he wanted, Jim Brown, Joe Brown. Who gives a damn? Talking about it's wrong that people out here trying to eat and trying to work, and ICE has to come all dressed up in military gear, and basically throw a monkey wrench in their perfect little society over here. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers, but about a month or two ago, there was another restaurant that was raided by ICE, and they detained a few people, and they come to find out that one of them was wanted for murder. Okay? So if anybody thinks that all these illegals that are coming in, that the criminals that are coming in with them, the hardcore criminals, okay, not all the ones, they're all criminals for breaking the law in the first place, coming here illegally, but I'm talking about the hardcore criminals, the murderers, the rapists and all that. If anybody thinks that, that they will not try to blend themselves in society, that's exactly what they'll do. And that's exactly what they're doing. And this is why ICE is taking the steps that they're doing, that they don't care what time of day, where it's at, in a school, in a church, in a restaurant. They're coming after everyone. Okay, but it just seems like all these people are butthurt where they think they could just go out into the street and protest against this, beating on cars and stuff like that. And you heard the reporter, they didn't want to put all the audio out because it's, a lot of it's very derogatory, I guess. I mean, at this point, who gives a shit? Okay? But then you have certain people online that promote all this that's going on. Now, like I said, I'm going to get to the heart of this video in a second, but I just want to show you something of a certain person on X who is basically an advocate, okay, for the immigration, the illegal immigrant community and the gay community. And I find it to be something that's very disheartening, and I don't want to hear nothing, okay, when it comes to people that are being marginalized and Black Lives Matter and trans this and whatever the hell it is everybody is protesting about. But there's something I want to show you guys. Here we go. Okay, now this guy here, his name is Christopher Webb. Okay, he's on X. If you go on this page, and I think everybody should, because what I'm about to show you guys is going to piss a lot of people off. Okay, he's putting out, on his page, he has all kinds of posts when it comes to immigration and gay rights and all this other bullshit. Okay, he says, call your rep and senator to investigate ICE. Okay, ICE agents detained migrants at San Antonio, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I went on this page only because of a video that I saw pertaining to this so-called protest, okay, about the restaurant. So I'm just going to piggyback the screenshot of the guy that put it out, which is Law of Self-Defense. That's the channel. Now, I'm not going to play the video. I just want to show something. He put this out of what that guy, Christopher Webb, put out. And it says, this is how it's done. Excuse me. And this really pissed me off. That's why I went onto his page to check him out. And he put out Friday, which I'm assuming this was this past Friday. Today's Tuesday. He puts out South Park, San Diego. Neighbors aren't having it. When ICE, what does it say here? When ICE rolled up on an Italian restaurant, unmarked. I'm sorry, my eyesight's been blurry since the accident. Unmarked cars, in unmarked cars, it started grabbing workers. The community hit the streets. Then it's not so much that he put that; it's what he put down here in parentheses. It says "sound up." Okay. So I'll minimize this again. We're gonna go to his page. There's a few things on here that he has on his page where he uses that term, sound up. Now he has a lot of garbage. Okay, I mean, he puts all this stuff. We support Dems in the fight, the reformers. Okay. Let me see if I find. He wrote it on another one, and it had the rainbow colors on it. Okay, it's a lot of right here. Act up, healthcare. Okay. So he uses terms like that, sound up, act up, whatever the case is. That's his name, Christopher Webb, the Reformers. Go pay him a visit, okay? And the reason why I brought this up, and if you look at my thumbnail, is because an incident happened, okay, a few weeks ago. It's been out somewhat on the news, but a person like this is not talking about it, okay? The mainstream media, I mean, local media is bringing it up here and there, but the mainstream media is not. CNN, MSNBC, all the usual suspects that are fighting for, and politicians included, that are fighting for all these illegals to be left in the country and trying to deter ICE, like all these mayors and governors and judges, as everybody's been hearing, okay? I find it so disgusting that they won't even touch or talk about something that happened. And I'll show you what it is. I'm going to play the video starting from right here. Actually, not right here. We're going to leave that one for last. Let me see it. This one right here. I'm going to play this one. I want everybody to pay attention. Here we go.
6 undocumented immigrants, including 3 minors, are facing charges tied to what started as an attempted robbery but ended with a South Carolina woman's death. Lancaster County officials say immigration authorities want them kept in the U.S. for now. South Carolina Bureau Chief Shakira Speaks has what the law says about deporting criminal suspects, especially juveniles.
6 undocumented immigrants police say are responsible for a robbery turned murder could be deported soon, and at least 3 of them are juveniles. Immigration attorney Carnell Johnson says he's been seeing an increase in detention centers with people who have and haven't been charged with a crime.
People like this have no place in our society, and we will do everything in our power to make sure the full weight of the law is brought down on these 6 individuals.
He's referring to 6 people now in custody. These 3 adults, ages 17 to 21, and 3 kids, ages 14 to 16, all connected to 2 crimes. They're accused in the attempted robbery of a Rock Hill woman that ended with her death. Officials say all 6 suspects are undocumented, with the Homeland Security Department placing detainers on them.
Historically, we place when ICE places on hold, if that person were to make bond or be released for whatever reason, they would take jurisdiction at that point. Of course, we have a new administration in now.
Solicitor Randy Newman says until he gets a call from Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, he will move forward with his state court prosecution of the suspects. Immigration attorney Carnell Johnson says the current administration has no authority in the removal process. Everyone has a right to due process.
Immigration removal proceedings for each immigrant can take years. I know for a fact that at the trial level, right before an immigration judge, that those proceedings can take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Then the appeal after that can take another 2, 3, 4 years.
Research from Syracuse University shows more than 49,000 immigrants are being held in detention centers across the country. Just over 56% have criminal records, some with only minor offenses like traffic violations. Johnson says there are 2 criteria that immigration judges consider when issuing a bond for serious or violent crimes.
One is the person a flight risk. and two, the person is going to pose a risk or danger to the public. If you have serious violent crimes and they're pending, even though you're innocent till proven guilty.
Sheriff Phil wanted to ensure the community that despite the suspects being detained, it doesn't mean the federal government will come and send them out of the country before their cases are heard. Shakira Speaks, Queen City News.
Okay, so now you heard that, right? You heard that whole story. Check this out. It says undocumented immigrants. This is their title. Undocumented. This is by Queen City News. Undocumented immigrants accused in Lancaster woman's murder could face deportation. Okay. Did anybody hear the lady's name? No. I played the whole video. I didn't cut it. Not once did they say the lady's name. Okay. Then you have this guy talking about, oh, that, you know, everybody deserves due process, yada, yada, yada. He mentioned something about them being a flight risk. Let me tell you something about all these illegals. They hold no bones in this country when they come here and they're already a criminal in their country. Every single one of them is a flight risk. That's why ICE grabs them and tries to get them right through the process. So like that, you know what? If they're going to leave, we're going to make sure that we do it our way. And the reason why I say that is because what happened to my best friend's mom, who was killed by that 18-year-old illegal immigrant, and when the cops let him out, he didn't show up to court. He disappeared. Gone. No justice for the family. For me, the family, none of us. The friends, nobody. Because that kid was a flight risk just like these kids. You know what? If they let them go, they're going to disappear. We heard about it with the Venezuelan migrant gangs in New York that were beating up on the cops. They let them go. Then they had to go on a manhunt because they all scattered and left New York State. But it seems like everybody's more worried about ICE going and picking people up. It seems like that guy, Christopher Webb, is more worried about gay rights and illegal migrant rights. But he won't talk about this mother, a black woman who was murdered, okay, who left 2 children behind. One daughter who's a minor, who's under 18, another one I think she's about 18. Left those 2 girls alone. But everybody in California, not everybody in California, but all the people that are protesting in front of that restaurant, and the restaurant's going to come out and say, we're a family. What about this woman? What about her family? Huh? What about them? Let me play the next video. Like, I'm not even going to cut. I'm just going to go to the next one. So like that, you guys, it's not every news station, but every news station should put out this woman's name. Let's listen to another, okay, news station talk about this.
New developments, investigators say a group of soccer players apparently hatched up a scheme to rob someone, and that left this Lancaster mother dead. I'm Scott Wickersham.
I'm Erica Bryant. 6 people, including one as young as 13, are charged in this case. Channel 9's Ken Lemon was in court as that teen and 2 others faced a judge. Ken?
Yeah, and that victim's mother says that she watched those suspects in court do something she can't do. The 14 and 15-year-olds hugged their family members when they learned that they will remain in jail and that the solicitor's office seeks to charge them as adults. Now, testimony in court.
Okay, did you hear that? The daughter, either both or one of the daughters of the woman that was murdered, came out and said they seen something that they can't do. They let these guys, after they're in court, hug their family goodbye. Those girls will never be able to hug their mother again. Okay? There was a picture I wanted to put up of her with her 2 daughters, all smiling, but it broke my heart to look at it, so I'm not going to do that. But this is what happens, folks. This is what happens when people on the left, they worry more about illegal migrants and trans rights and all this other bullshit, like I said, and they don't worry about the victims. You know, it's funny how the mainstream media, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the trans community, whatever, every single time somebody on their side does something, they don't want to touch it. They don't want to give up names, identities, nothing. But as soon as somebody does something on their side, or I should say against their side, okay, like, I don't know, pass a law, they want to go out there and they want to wreak havoc. Okay? Now, we're already a few seconds, about 40 seconds into this video. They're going to say her name now. Okay? But for the most part, in a lot of these news clips, they say what happened. But they rarely mention this poor woman's name. Let's continue.
Court indicated the 3 teens and 2 adults followed the lead of Izel Torres. Investigators said they used WhatsApp to plan botched burglary of the Van Wyck Mark in Lancaster, shooting a security camera with the same gun later used to shoot and kill Larissa Thompson. Now, prosecutors say that Thompson was headed...
There you go. That was the name. He got the name wrong. He said Larissa Thompson, but I looked it up. It's actually Larisha Thompson with an H.
To a birthday party. They say the 6 men...
I'm sorry, let me go back a little bit.
To a birthday party. They say...
Damn it. Sorry about that. Just a little more.
Thompson was headed to a birthday party. They say the 6 men had a plan: shoot at a car on Riverside Road, getting the driver to stop, rob the driver, and get rid of the evidence. The investigator told the judge that Torres shot and killed Thompson, but all 6 suspects got out to try to get into her car. It was locked from the inside, so they couldn't get inside. The security camera video, according to the investigator, later showed the 6 guys at a store, giddy, palling around, and even flipping off a camera inside the store.
Okay. So she was headed to a birthday party. These 6 pricks were out there causing havoc. And now they're going to say, oh, they all went along with it because of one person. But you heard what he said. They shot at the car. They killed her. They tried to get into the car. All 6 of them. Not like 3 of them ran away because they were scared. It's not like 5 of them ran away because they were scared. Or even 1 of them. No. After the deed was done, they all ran to the car and tried to take it, knowing what they just did. And then just decided to just do even more. Where is the outrage, Black Lives Matter? Where is the outrage, Antifa? Where is the outrage, pro-Palestinian protesters, I should say? Where is the outrage? Democrats? All you Democrat politicians, mayors, governors, judges, district attorneys, where's all the outrage? Oh, it's only an outrage, okay, when it's against people on your side, but when people on your side do it to each other, there's no outrage. Because you're all a bunch of damn hypocrites, that's why. And all you people in the black community that want to take and stay on that side and make it seem like because what Trump is doing by getting rid of all the illegal immigrant criminals, that it's a problem. And you're over here blowing this dog whistle saying that, you know what, every time Trump says or anybody on the right says that a lot of these illegals are taking your jobs, you come out and say that's all BS and he's blowing a dog whistle and it's a lie. They're not only taking your jobs, they're taking lives. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't matter if the woman was black or white or other. Because every single time, and there's a lot more people, I have a bunch of videos I'm going to put out this week. If everybody thinks that these illegal migrants are still not out there committing crime, there's a lot out there. It's just been kept hush-hush. Because even though Donald Trump is in the White House and his cabinet is doing what they got to do, the mainstream media that's run by the left are trying to keep everything hush-hush. But it's funny how every single time something like this happens, you people on the left, you people like Mr. Christopher Webb, you'll ignore it. But let a white cop get caught up with a black criminal, and you want to burn half the country down, erect a memorial. Did anybody know? Because I'm just finding this out myself. I heard it, but more and more is coming out. Supposedly, George Floyd, okay? Did anybody hear the story of how him and a couple of his friends tried to break into a woman's house who was pregnant, and they wind up beating her up, and he supposedly pointed a loaded gun at her belly? If nobody's heard of that, I mean, I heard about it, but I was like, well, I haven't really seen much about it. But now more and more information is coming out that he did that. But you people rather idolize that. You people rather fight for all the illegal immigrants that are out there committing crimes. You rather jump in the way of law enforcement, knowing very well that these illegals, they don't care who they go after. White, black, Spanish, Asian, they don't care. But it doesn't fit your narrative, so you rather go out there and protest and then get a damn blue check mark on X as if you're supposed to be somebody so fucking powerful. And by the way, this now I'm gonna minimize it again and go back on. He's got like what, 125,000 followers. So 125 deadbeats is okay with what this man is doing. But yet, where's the outrage from you 125,000 on his page talking about this woman? If anything, his page should be flooded with what happened to that woman and all the American victims. But you know what? You won't do it. You won't do it. Because you're all a bunch of hypocrites. Okay? And it's sad that that woman was headed to a birthday party, going somewhere to celebrate life. And those 6 kids went and took her life away and was still given the opportunity to hug their family members in court before their asses were hauled off. I'm still all for the government building a giant slingshot and just start slingshotting people right over the border, man. I mean, this is just horrible. And I'm going to end the video with one more thing, some information that has come out, but the mainstream media won't talk about it. Something that came out, and it's funny how the Biden administration and everybody knew about this, and I say they knew about it because obviously, once again, all the information that the Democrats, Biden, Mayorkas, and the rest of them was saying that it's so hard to really keep tabs on all these criminals. It's funny how the Trump administration comes in and they find out more and more information. So I'm going to go to the next video. Okay, where is it? Right here. Okay, and if anybody remembers Jocelyn Nungaray, that was the little 12-year-old girl that was strangled and murdered, and it was strangled, raped, and murdered by those 2 guys. Okay. Now I'm going to play the video. I'm going to stop it and let you know what new information came out. But it's funny, again, like I said, how the mainstream media or none of these organizations will talk about this. Check this out.
Live now from Fox, I'm your host, Christina Evans. Let's continue on with our top stories of today. And the next one takes us down to Houston, Texas. I want to show you this live look that we have there in the city. And this is a story that's captured national attention ever since it happened. But we are now learning new details about a suspect in the Jocelyn Nungaray case. She was the 12-year-old who was raped and murdered. And we do want to go ahead and put this up as well from our partners there at Fox 26 in Houston, saying there that former Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg is now sharing evidence in the case that has never been revealed in public until now. For more on this, I want to bring into the conversation with Fox 26 there in Houston, Abigail Dye.
Now you heard what they said. It's never. I'll read. She reworded it, but what it says here: former Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg is sharing evidence in the Jocelyn Nungaray case that hasn't been made public until now. Now I'm going to speed up. I'll go back, but I just want to show the pictures real quick. You see these 2 guys? These were the 2 guys that did it. This guy right here, the fat ass one, he had an ankle monitor on him. Everybody knew that. After the crime was done, he went and cut it off and tried to get away. So they already knew that this guy, for some odd reason, they had to put an ankle monitor on him. Stay with me, people. Okay? This guy right here said that he wanted nothing to do with it, but he was afraid of this man. So he went along with it. I think he got a lighter sentence. Obviously, he got the book thrown at him. Okay? Now, you guys, are you guys ready for the information that wasn't made public? Because if the Trump administration found it, that means that information was always there. It's just that the Biden administration and his freaking demonic freaking cabinet didn't want anybody to know, because this man right here wasn't a repeat offender only. This piece of shit right here also. So let's go back and I'll let them explain it.
The conversation with Fox 26 there in Houston, Abigail Dye. Abigail, thanks so much for being with us. We know that you've been covering this story and learning those new details. What else can you tell us?
Well, Christina, this former district attorney, Kim Ogg, she gave me some information that was truly shocking to me. It's about one of the suspects that they found out back in 2024 when they were looking to seek the death penalty. It's a big piece of information that really changed the game.
So you're saying this isn't the first time that Pena has been accused of rape?
That's correct.
To just know that this happened to another woman, it hurts my heart. Really, a piece of me shatters a little bit.
June 2024, 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray's body was found in a bayou on West Rankin Road. Two undocumented Venezuelan nationals, Johan Jose Martinez Rangel and Franklin Jose Pena Ramos, are charged with capital murder, accused of sexually assaulting, then killing Jocelyn. Kim Ogg was the Harris County District Attorney at the time. Her office gathered the evidence they needed to seek the death penalty in the case. And now, she's revealing a key piece that helps secure that option.
What we learned during the course of the investigation was that one of the suspects, Pena, had been involved in a prior sexual assault.
She says a victim from another...
There you go. Unbelievable. And here's the thing, people. The sexual assault wasn't done in America. It was done in another country to a tourist that was out there vacationing. And he fled. Came to America. They let him in. Now it says in the case that the woman supposedly stood quiet about it. And then after seeing his face, that's when she came out and said, that was the guy that raped me. And I know what a lot of people are going to say. Well, nobody would have known that. True. Maybe. But now you see why you can't just go and let people into the country. And I'll say this. I'm not buying it. I'll tell you why. The guy that he was with, they were buddies. They were all living in the same house. The guy that he was with had an ankle monitor put on him because they knew something about him. Why didn't the Biden administration, knowing that if they had one person that they knew they had to put an ankle monitor on, they knew that the other people in the house were all illegal immigrants, why didn't they just detain all of them and say, you know what, wait a minute, birds of a feather flock together? Because, I mean, isn't that what they do to Americans? Especially in the blue states? With something called what? The RICO Act? If you know one, you know that means you're involved with them all or anything like that? No, they just let in all these illegals without vetting them, without finding out. And if they find one, they let them go. And then they let them hang out with a bunch of other people. And that's it. Now, do some of them hide in plain sight? Yes. But if you see a group of them and you know that some of them already have a criminal record, why would you think that the rest of them don't? Like I said, there's more videos I got that I'm going to put out this week where you're going to see how all this is working out with a lot of these illegal migrants. So not only should this man both of them should have just been kicked out the country. Okay, not saying that in their country anything would have happened to them. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Chances are they were running from the law themselves. The Biden administration did nothing, so they wind up doing that to that poor girl. Getting back to the first video, or the beginning of the video of that poor woman, Larissa Thompson, who was murdered by 6 more. There's something that I didn't point it out, but just so everybody knows. Everybody knows, and it's always been talked about when it comes to social media, okay? WhatsApp, a lot of people say is a very dangerous app because that's the way a lot of criminals communicate. That's the app those kids were using. If you go back, you'll hear what they said, that they all communicated through WhatsApp. A lot of times they find a lot of criminals through WhatsApp. And it's not like, you know what, oh, they use it only because that's what they have in their country. Bullshit. Everybody's got TikTok, Facebook, you name it, everybody's got it. It's just that WhatsApp is a little more encrypted, I guess you could say. Now, I'm not trying to go against WhatsApp. I've never used it. I don't know anything really about it, but I keep hearing it. How much does anybody want to bet that's the way a lot of these illegal migrants, especially the criminal ones, the hardcore criminals, are communicating? And this is something that the Biden administration knows, but they decided not to go along with that. It's just funny how the Trump administration, how his people on the ground, real people, real boots on the ground, are finding out way more information that the Biden administration said that they couldn't because they didn't have it. It was too hard. They're overwhelmed. There's over 2 million gotaways, and yet the Trump administration is finding them all. But yet you still have everybody on the left, like that dude on X, Black Lives Matter, everybody else and their mother. They won't talk about any of this because it's one of their own doing it to one of their own. And now I'm not saying that the woman, God rest her soul, Larissa Thompson, you know, was hardcore Democrat, whatever. What I'm saying is they talk so much about Black Lives Matter, unless that life is being taken away, okay, by somebody who's part of their cause. If there was a group, and I have to say, people, I'm sorry, if it was a group of white kids, all over the news. Because even if it was a group of American kids doing it, let's say black, Hispanic, they probably wouldn't have talked about it. And I say that because look at all the crime, the black on black crime, the Latino on Latino crime, the black on Latino, Latino on black crime, they got the black on Asian crime that goes on in America that the mainstream media won't talk about it. But let it be white on any other race crime, and it's all over the damn news. You know, I understand that the Trump administration, they're doing everything they can and they're going at it full force. Tom Homan, the rest of them, and thank God for that. And in my opinion, they need more people to help them. Okay? But people, this is not over by a long shot. There are millions of people that have come into this country unvetted. Watching my video yesterday, if anybody, well, you probably heard by now about the guy in Colorado, the Egyptian guy that went in and started burning Jewish Americans in out on the street that were having a rally. And that guy was in the country for years. Should have been kicked out. Matter of fact, was. And I'm going to retract something. I said he was on a work visa. It wasn't. He was actually on what they call a tourist visa. How do you like that? Name an American that can go to any other country as a tourist and go and torch people, commit any crimes. You don't hear about that. And if you do, it's a one-off, a once in a blue moon. The difference is that an American goes on a tourist visa or whatever the case is, they know they got to leave. That dude in Colorado was told to leave many a times, and instead of them just grabbing him and kicking him out, which they did, I think, once, and he made his way back in, instead of them just putting him in prison, no, they let him loose. He found sanctuary in Colorado. He committed a crime. These guys were let loose, committed a crime. Those 6 kids were let loose, committed a crime. And this is why I say that all these illegals that are coming in, they don't care who they attack. Case in point, these 2 men went after a Hispanic girl. Those Spanish guys went after a black woman. That Egyptian guy went after Jewish people. These illegal criminal migrants don't give a flying rat's ass who they attack. But let it be one white person that does something, and right away you got everybody on mainstream media talking about white systemic racism. It's just horrible. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.